talk to Alistair Jones, Associate Professor of Politics at Montfort University. Alistair, welcome back. Good to see you. So,
Hi,
Europeans now see the United States more as a necessary partner than an ally. How significant, do you think, is this shift, given the history between these former allies?
I think it's a significant shift. It's not saying, hey, we don't like the US anymore. It's more a case of a wariness. We need you, you need us, but you're not the close friend and close supporter that you were. And I think Trump's way of doing things, his transactional approach to it, everything's a zero-sum game. You win or you lose. There's no sharing. I think this flies in the face of the way Europe has run itself. The different countries across Europe have run themselves post-Second World War, post-Cold War, where it's much more about shared values, it's about developing agreement, about developing consensus. And Trump doesn't do things that way. It's win or lose, and he's got to win. And if he doesn't get what he wants, he throws his toys out of the pram. And we're seeing this on a whole host of issues, as with the discussion over tariffs. You put tariffs on us because we put them on you, we'll put even more on you. It's like a temper tantrum at times, and that's basically not the European way of doing things.
But haven't affections and affiliations between the two always ebbed and flowed? Is there anything really new about this?
I think what is new, if you look at the breakdown, if you look, for example, at the UK, we are still the country that talks about the US as being an ally rather than a necessary partner, with the most saying an ally, but there are more people in the UK saying necessary partner than saying ally, just ahead. And I think this poll shows this wariness more so than ever before. Yes, relationships have ebbed and flowed. You can look at it during the Nixon years, you can look at it during the Vietnam War, and a whole host of other issues, Iraq more recently, where the relationship has been a bit frosty at times, but there's still been that underlying degree of closeness. This time, that closeness is fraying. I think that's the polite way of describing it.
It feels perhaps like we're at the early stages of the divorce at the moment. Is it possible we might fall in love again, do you think?
There is all likelihood we'll fall in love again, and it may simply be that when Trump ceases to be US president, whoever succeeds him, be it a Democrat, be it a Republican, they acknowledge that the importance of Europe to America and vice versa. So it's not as if Europe is saying no to America. We're just going, hang on a minute. There are some members of the EU, for example, you've got Giorgia Meloni and Viktor Orban, so the prime ministers of Italy and Hungary, who are much more enthusiastic about Trump. But on issues such as Russia and the invasion of Ukraine, Trump says, oh, I can solve this. But if that means Ukraine giving up territory, Europe is not going to be happy about that, because a number of countries that border on Europe are worried about they could be next. So I think post-Trump, things will probably warm up again. But that's 4 years away or 3.5 years away.
Alistair, good to see you. Thank you for that. Alistair Jones, Associate Professor of Politics at Montfort University in the UK.